you for pointing your eyes at the Green Show. First, we're going to take a look at eco-friendly insulation that'll help keep your money from seeping on out the doors. Then we'll take a look at becoming a Thai massage therapist, which might be a way to bring back in some of that green. And finally, we're going to look at greening up your vacation time with a bit of eco-travel. So stay tuned, learn how to save some money, make some money, and go green on the Green Show. The average American home spends 50% or more of its energy on cooling and heating. Poor insulation literally means money seeping on out the windows and doors. Traditional insulation, there are concerns about formaldehyde and other chemicals. We're going to take a look at eco-friendly insulation that'll help keep the money in without putting your health at risk. Hi Travis, how are you?
Hi Carla, I'm doing well. And yourself?
Doing great, thanks.
Good.
Now, I know you have a lot of information about going green, staying green with insulation. So what is it that you have here?
Right here I have, this is an all-purpose sealant, an indoor and outdoor sealant. You can use this around bathtubs, you could use it around baseboard moldings, or you could even use it outside around windows and doors to seal up those cracks so that wind isn't infiltrating and you don't have the drafts inside the house.
Okay. Now how much does this cost? Does it cost more to be green with this?
This is going to cost right around $4.50. Your conventional materials are going to be, it's a little more expensive than the conventional materials, but you have the added benefit of having a low VOC content. So while the other conventional products are going to off-gas and they have a really strong smell, you're not going to have that with this product. And so it's safer for the indoor air quality. It's safer for children and pets and for people to be around.
Okay. Does it actually save us any money in the long run other than health? Although health is important.
Not necessarily. I mean, if you consider using a sealant around your doors and windows, that can help cut down on the cost of heating and cooling a house, because you're not fighting that air infiltration. You're not fighting that hot. You're not trying to keep it cooler and yeah.
Oh yes, definitely saving energy, keeping it from heat actually out and that cool out. Okay,
yeah.
It goes both ways on that.
Keep the heat in the wintertime and keep the cool in the summer.
Excellent. Now what about some of the other products? I know we had mentioned before foam.
Some of the other products, for a small crack or a small crevice, you would want to use something like the acrylic urethane or our window and siding. This one is designed specifically for the exterior. It's going to stay flexible throughout its lifetime, and you're not going to, like some caulks will, in the wintertime, they will freeze and they will crack. A product like this isn't gonna completely solidify, and so freezing and cracking isn't an issue with that. So that's what you would use for smaller cracks and crevices that you want to fill in. If you have a little larger crack or crevice, like a gap, like around the base of your foundation, we have this low VOC expanding foam called Wonder Foam. So it's, again, like this material, it's not going to be off-gassing. You're not going to have the strong scents or the strong smells. But what you are going to have is a material that's going to expand and completely fill up the voids and gaps, and that will also stop the air infiltration. And it also has a good R value, so it's going to help to thermally insulate those gaps and spaces.
Okay, I have to ask, what's an R value?
R value refers to the ability to hold heat. So if you put insulation in a wall that has a decent R value, so that in the summertime you're not losing a lot of heat, or in the wintertime you're not losing heat through that wall. It's going to be able to hold that heat inside. Foams that expand are going to have a little better R value, because they expand and they completely seal in a space. In the Chicagoland area, you're wanting to get in the wall cavities about an R13 is the baseline, okay. And in the attics and in the spaces above the living space, you're going to get an R38. And so that just refers to probably somewhere around 10 to 12 inches of insulation in the attic spaces, and then about 3.5 to 4 inches in the wall space.
Okay, well, speaking of the wall space, attic spaces, all that, I know in regular everyday insulation here is not what I'm seeing here. Now, what is this soy foam insulation?
This is an expanding foam insulation. So a crew would come in and they would spray it into the wall cavity, an open wall cavity before drywall goes up, and the foam is then going to expand about 100 times its size to fill that wall cavity completely. So there's not going to be any air voids, there's no gaps, and you have a good insulating material.
Now, is it more energy efficient then, or?
It's going to have a common R value of R13 for the wall spaces, but with the expanding foams, you get the added benefit of taking out. There are no air gaps, so there are going to be no drafts coming through there.
Okay. Is it more expensive, or?
You're looking over the conventional fiberglass insulation. This is going to be 2 to 3 times as expensive, but it's going to be a long-lasting product. It's going to stay in the wall cavity, and mice don't like it. They don't like to chew into that, and it's also mold and mildew resistant.
Oh, okay. Well, that definitely, I know, will help with allergens as well as saving some money. Now, what is this blue insulation over here?
This blue insulation is actually made from recycled denim. The blue jean manufacturers, they have their extra cuttings and they have their extra snippings from making blue jeans, and then they take that and they're mulching it up, and the company is taking it and turning it into bad insulation. It's mold and mildew resistant. It has a Class A fire rating, so it's going to be just as good as any standard fiberglass insulation, but you get the added benefit of it doesn't have any formaldehyde in it as a binder. And it's also the added benefit of the denim insulation that is such a great sound barrier. It's 2 or 3 times better than a fiberglass insulation as a sound barrier. So even if you can't use it specifically in the exterior of the house as a thermal insulation, you can always use it between rooms as a sound barrier. It's really good for that.
Oh, well, that's excellent. Now, does this cost more?
You're looking about 1.5 to 2 times as much as your conventional fiberglass insulation. So yeah, so for a wall space, you're looking about 80 cents a square foot is about the standard price that you would be paying for that.
Okay, so is it harder to install than the traditional?
No, actually not. It installs just the same. Because it is made of denim, it cuts a little bit more difficult than the fiberglass insulation, but in all reality, it goes in the exact same way that you would put in fiberglass insulation.
Ah, so this is good. You can actually be fashionable with denim. Okay, I'm being a little bit on the hokey side, but so fashionable, soundproof, and economically friendly at the same time. So definitely something I'd want to put in my house.
Yeah, for sure.
So. Now that we looked at keeping your money in with some green insulation, we're going to take a look at how to become a Thai massage therapist so we can make a little money.